Hello everyone, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to Kaiser Games for an actual gaming video. I haven't done one of these in a while. I do thank all the people that tuned in to check out some of my music stuff, my Sunday with Ola riff challenges. They're not very good, but I'm getting better, and thank you very much for tuning in for that sort of stuff. But we're back today with a little bit of actual gaming stuff. We're back in the old sim rig. And what we're looking at today is the latest stuff that's come out of assettomods.com. Now, I went across and finally relented, finally dropped some money into the dude's Patreon, and I downloaded his most recent ATCC mods, and they are fantastic. Is the short version of this story. I've done a little bit of playing around with them, a couple of little test races here and there against the AI and that sort of stuff, and they are well worth the money. I highly encourage you guys to jump across to his website, satamods.com, sling him a little bit of coin in the Patreon and download these mods because they are fantastic and you will have a lot of fun with them. I'll put a link in the description below to his website. So I've lined up all the cars here, and we're just going to do a quick look at what is actually available. Now, the first mod that he's got up there is the 1992 sort of season. So that's the RS 500 Sierra, the R32 Godzilla Skyline, and the VN Commodore. So that's those guys just there. And as always, the models are outstanding. The liveries that he's done are just fantastic. They're true to the actual cars that we had out on the racetrack at those times, and they are just beautiful cars to look at. They drive quite well, but we'll get into the driving a little bit later. So that is the first little group there, the 1992 sort of Group A, phasing out of the Group A before we went into the full-blown Australian touring cars, which are over here. So this is 1993 cars here. We've got the Bathurst Johnson and Bow car on display here, the Shell Helix car. And of course, because I'm wearing a Holden Racing Team shirt, we have to have the awesome Holden Racing Team VP Commodore. This one is the Percy Mazira. It's 1993, so the year before Peter Brock jumped across into that team and made all of us on the Holden side of the camp very, very happy. Progressing along, we've got the 1994 models. Now, this is a nice little eye for detail. The 1994 Model Falcon has the little flutes on the front splitter, where the 93 model doesn't. So that's really cool. And the VP Commodore doesn't really have too many changes. I think the Falcon has a slightly different rear wing as well. Yeah, so the Falcon in 94 got the little curve on the rear wing end plate, whereas you can see on the 93 model it's straight. The Falcon sort of copied the Holden design and had a little curve on it to the end plate. And then, of course, the 1995, 1996 models here. So the I think from memory, I think that's an EL Falcon. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. And the VR Commodores. And once again, models are beautiful. The liveries that they've designed, just spot on. Brings a lot of memories back. This was, as far as I was concerned, the pinnacle of Australian motorsport this era. This was just after the Group A, so they'd just gone to being purpose-built race cars. But it was before sort of all the super technical side of supercars that we see today, where you sink tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars into building front end subframes to go really, really fast. This was a much better form of Australian motorsport when the big budget teams like Tom Walkinshaw Racing, Holden Racing Team were constantly being pushed by the smaller teams like Gibson Motorsport. And I just think it was a much better time in Australian motorsport. It was just good to see the mixes, the different tyres as well, Dunlops and Bridgestones and Yokohamas, and just all the little differences that make the racing better. I think the further we've progressed, the more professional it's gotten, and that's a little bit of a shame. Now, the models are fantastic, the liveries are fantastic. He's done up to the 96 season, which is the VR Commodore, But me being me, I just can't leave well enough alone. And I have created a couple of liveries of my own. So this is essentially the 1997 and 1998 Holden Racing Team cars. I really liked both of these liveries. Obviously, Peter Brock's last full year, and then the first year that Mark Scaife was over at the Holden Racing Team. So I just couldn't help myself. I created these liveries. Hopefully you like them. If you do like them, I will put them up on a Google Drive, and there will be a link in the description below so that you can download these liveries and play around. If you do download them, please let me know in the comments. Put images up, put videos up, whatever it happens to be. That would be really, really helpful. Thanks a lot. But yeah, so when we go into the testing phase, we'll be driving one of these cars that I've done up, and yeah. But for now, let's get into the driving. We're going to start off with a quick race in the VN. We'll do probably maybe 3 or 4 lap races, and we'll go through a few different tracks as well and see how the cars handle it. All right, let's rock and roll. Alrighty, so here we are. We are at historic Oran Park Raceway. We are driving the historic VN Group A Commodore. This is just towards the end of the Group A era, like we were saying before, just before we moved into what became known as V8 supercars. We're running car number 16, the Holden Racing Team car that was campaigned by Wyn Percy and Alan Grice at Bathurst. 16 is a pretty cool number. It was actually my very first racing number back in go-kart days. I carried that because my dad had it when he was driving go-karts, and my brother still carries it. So there you go, a bit of family significance in the old number 16. We're racing at Oran Park, like I said before. We've got 19 odd AI competitors, and they are running at 100% difficulty with 51% aggression. And we're going to run the standard setup. 4 laps around Oran Park. Let's make this happen. All right, first gear. 6 on. And 6 off. Slip the clutch. Not a bad secondary phase at the start. Miss a gear. That's always ordinary. Alright, so we're just going to hold in 3rd gear. We're on the wrong side of the track going through turn 1. We're going to lose a position there. Might be able to catch it back up. Nope, we're going to get into the back of our teammate there. Number 7 Holden Racing Team Commodore, driven by Neil Crompton, the voice of the Supercars commentary team, who actually recently was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I think I was reading. So, get better soon, Crompo. God knows we need you in that commentary box. Hashtag get better, Crompo. Let's get that trending. Anyway, back to the race. Down to the dog leg now. Hard on the brakes. Oh, it's such a fun car to drive. You can really feel it that Crompo runs a little bit wide there, and we managed to slide down the inside. Is he still there as we dip into the dog leg? Yeah, we managed to get around him. Nice. All right, so around the final corner, this iconic final corner onto the front straight of Oran Park, right up against the fence there. Just about took the mirror off. That's really, really cool. The cars are just wonderful to drive. They actually feel about right. They're quite soft. They float around, they bounce, they slide. You lock brakes, you see the AI locking brakes. It's just like watching the old footage on the YouTubes of this era of Australian motorsport, this legendary era of Australian motorsport. And it's hard work. Tell you what, super hard work. Even just driving on the sim, force feedback, this Fanatec wheel, trying to pull the car up, trying to get it turned, dealing with all the little corrections that you've got to make. These are raw touring cars, and they feel like it as well. It's Just so good. Turn the car, you feed the throttle on, it slides. You can feel the wheel spin in the car. Right, yeah, let's get the headlights on. We're in behind one of the mobile cars here. Not actually sure which one. 55, I think that was, which is Andrew Medicki. There's 3 mobile cars in front of us. All right, had a look, we're not quite close enough. I think at the time, the mobile cars were Peter Brock, Andrew Medicki, and Larry Perkins, I think. We're going to try the best we can to at least get in front of one of these mobile cars. Actually, hear how hard I'm working. It almost got a cross back there. Oh, a little bump. Little bump through the dog leg, that's always ordinary. Let's get on the throttle nice and early. Let's stick in the slipstream. The models are just beautiful. Look at that rear wing. That's fantastic. See if we can't sneak up the inside here. Oh, only just got it pulled up. Oh, there's going to be a touch here. We're on the last lap. It's all bets are off. We're in 9th place fighting for sheep stations here. 3 mobile cars and 2 Holden Racing Team cars, all line astern. Don't know if we're going to have enough. Certainly going to try. Throw the car through the left-hander here. Made up a fair bit of ground. Short shifted to 4th for the dog leg this time around. See if we can't angle it down the inside into the final turn. Oh, big lock up. Oh, bit of biff and barge. Who comes out of that in front? Medicki's beside me still. I don't know who got there in the end. I think I did. With a big bloody Hail Mary there at the end. Holy crap. Yeah, so much fun to drive these things. Oh, they're hard work. I'm actually breathing hard. All right, well, that was a lot of fun. Oran Park in one of these cars is a lot of fun. So let's travel from Sydney down to Victoria. Let's travel forward in time by 12 months. We'll go to Winton and we'll line up in a VP Commodore. Let's see us there. Alrighty, so here we are, Winton in Victoria, driving the 1994 Holden Racing Team VP Commodore, number 015, that Brad Jones and Craig Lowndes drove at Bathurst that year. That famous moment when Craig Lowndes went flying around the outside of John Bowe into Griffin's Bend at Bathurst. Rightio, so we're starting off 7th on the grid for this one. Yeah. No change to the AI, still 100% difficulty and 51% aggression, and we're not going to bother changing anything on the setup. So let's rock and roll. First gear, get the revs up, 6 on, 6 off, slip the clutch. Oh, a lot of wheel spin. 4th gear on the way into the first turn. Oh, it's all going sideways. We're going to sneak down the inside of the shell car there. I think that was John Bowe. We're also going to get Glenn Seaton here. Hard on the brakes, back to 3rd gear. Let's see if we can get around the number 41. Oh, he got sideways. We're going to force our way down the inside here. Oh, too deep, too deep. That's all right, we only lost the 1 spot. Down to the hairpin now. Headlights on. Down the inside. Wrong side of the road up here, but what we're going to try and do is get the crisscross. We've got a slightly better drive. How do we go down here? Oh, big lock up. Managed to just muscle our way in front. All right, now on the shell cars in front of us. Back to second gear. This last little complex. All right. Oh, lap 2. Big skip shift on the way down there. Going from 5th back to 2nd. And I do miss that. You know, I do really miss seeing that sort of stuff. You know, you look back on some of the old touring car footage, you see Mark Scaife doing big downshifts just from 6th straight back to 2nd. And a little bit of a bump. Yeah, I very much miss that. You know, I miss seeing the drivers working super hard. And it's not to say that the current crop of drivers aren't working hard, because they absolutely are. They are absolute athletes in every sense of the word. But you look at this style of touring car racing back when the cars weren't so race car, you know, and they moved around. They were sideways. The guys had, you know, were always working the steering wheel, locking brakes, sliding off corners. You know, this kind of motor racing. I feel like it's just that little bit sanitized these days, you know? They're still working hard, but with the sequential gear shift, you know, and the cars as well balanced as they are these days. You know, the attitude of the cars just isn't the same. You know, it's like they're on rails, especially compared to cars of this era. You know, I think Larry Perkins was saying to Speed Cafe during the week that this was the era when setup was what mattered. Not how much money you threw into development, but how well you could set your car up at each individual racetrack. And I really wish that it was still like that, because the smaller teams had a chance. You know, if you could set your car up well, you could have seen John Faulkner running like door handle to door handle with a Mark Scaife Holden racing team car, you know? You just don't see that these days. You can almost pick, you know, who's going to be the top 3 at any point during the weekend. There's very few exceptions to that rule. And I don't think Gen 3 is going to make it any better, to be honest. Having things like paddle shift and auto blip, you know, it's not going to make the racing better. Oh, as we get very sideways there, let's try to sneak a little under over on, actually don't know who that is. Don't remember that car at all. Anyway, last lap, we're in 4th. Overcooking a little bit into turn 1. Got very sideways, but we managed to make a little bit of ground. Oh, big bump there. See the damage on the back of that car from where I bumped him there too. It's pretty cool. Can we sneak up the inside here? No. But can we set up for a dive into the hairpin? That's what we're going to try and do. Oh, the AI gives us just enough space there. Now we're going to crisscross down here, the inside. Let's see if we can set up another switchback. No, not this time. Alrighty, here we go. Down the inside. We did it. Yeah, we did. Oh, what a race. Yeah, no, I don't think that's... I don't think paddle shift and auto blip is the answer to the question. I think give them good tyres, less aero, and put them back in H patterns. Make them use the clutches again. I think that's where it's at. Let me know in the comments below if you agree. Hey, third place, we've got a podium. Just lock up, slide it into turn one there. Yeah, let me know in the comments about what you think about that. I honestly think that the direction that they look like they're going in Gen 3, I'm not sold on it. I would like to see it come back to more this type of motor racing. You know, this sort of side-by-side, door handle to door handle, not sinking billions of dollars into research kind of racing. But I don't know, I guess we'll see what happens, eh? All right, so that's Winton done in the VP Commodore. From here, let's jet ourselves up to Darwin, to Hidden Valley, which is the next round on the Supercars Championship calendar. And we'll jump into a VR Commodore. All right, see you there. Alrighty, so here we are at Darwin's Hidden Valley Raceway. We're driving the number 50 Holden Racing Team Commodore from 1998, one of the ones that I designed that I showed you guys before. There will be a link for this one and the 97 cars in the description below. Like I said before, you'll be able to get it off the old Google Drive. We're starting 11th. We're at Hidden Valley, so what we'll do is just jump in and open the gear ratio up a little bit. It's the only thing that we're going to change in the setup, just to make sure we don't run out of breath down that front straight. And the AI is still at 100% difficulty and 51% aggression. So let's rock and roll and see how we go. Whoops, steering wheel's not centered. That's weird. All right. 6 on. 6 off. We're away. Headlights on. AI doing AI things at the start. And away we go. One of the Coke cars is into the wall already. That'll be Wayne Gardner, I reckon. 5th gear. Oh no, hard on the brakes. We've gone in deep. Oh, we managed to not collect anybody on the way through. It was rough. I haven't driven these cars at Hidden Valley before, so wasn't really sure where I was braking. But anyway, so we've gone backwards a little bit, I think. But that's okay. We're back under control. Oop, give that car a little bit of a bump on the way through. Alright, now we're heading up to the hairpin. On the outside here, we're going to stick to the outside, see if we can't get around the outside of Ellery there in the 52 Castrol Falcon. Not quite. Whoa, one of the Peter Jackson cars is well up on 2 wheels there. And again, there's a Castrol car next to him, not having a good day. Back to 3rd gear. Cars are spearing off left, right and centre. There's a Shell FAI car. Oh, we've gone. Massive crash. Oh, Cito. Didn't mean to hit you. Well, it's all turned on at Hidden Valley. My God, the last race was bloody quiet. This one is insane. How crazy. All right. We've got some clean air now. Overcooked it. Got the rear brakes really late in the stop there. Managed to hold on to it though. These cars, whatever they've done with the physics, a couple of things I've noticed. They slide and you can catch it. So they're good in that respect. But you can run door to door with the other cars. You can have a little bit of biff and barge. And you don't just automatically spear off as I just go too deep into the hairpin there. That's pretty standard. Too busy talking. See if we can get back onto the track in a reasonable time frame. We just do. A little bit of dirt on the tyres now. It's all come ahead here at Darwin. But yeah, you can actually run door handle to door handle and biff and barge and bounce off the cars a little bit, and you don't just automatically spin out, which seems to be fairly prevalent in a lot of sims. Alright, lap 3 of 4. We've fallen down the order. We were as high as 7th, we're now 13th. Let's see what we can do about that. car just wobbles around under brakes. Big, heavy braking zones really make the car lurch around. Hit the rears again on the way into that corner. Sideways as we pick the throttle up. They are hard cars to drive. Just like the other cars that he's done, they're modelled so well. Like, you can hear it in my voice, I'm actually a little bit out of breath. But they are just so hard to drive. They slide around. Every time you pick the brakes up, you're basically holding your breath, hoping that the thing doesn't lock up and spear you off the racetrack. Just so much fun. Definitely, if you have a Assetto Corsa, and you don't have this mod yet, jump on over, shell out some hard earns, and get the damn mod, because it is so much fun. We need to get some online leagues up and running. I haven't played with the setups of the cars yet, and I kind of don't want to. The cars are so much fun to drive, set up the way that they are. I just don't want to. I don't want to mess with the setup and make them easier to drive. I mean, obviously, if there was a multiplayer league, you'd kind of have to be competitive. But I really like them just the way they are. So we crossed line 13. That was a messy one, that one. But I haven't driven this car at Hidden Valley before, so that caught me out a little bit. Most of the test races I did were actually at Winton. Just valve bounce the car a little bit there, give the engineer something to worry about. But yeah, this is unbelievable. This is such a good mod. Let's get something up in the background while I'm talking here. Such an amazing mod. So much fun. You guys, honestly, get amongst it. You know what I mean? Shell out a little bit of hard earned. Get the mod. Let's get some online multiplayer leagues going, because this is just ridiculously fun, man. Ridiculously fun. I don't know what else you can really say about it. The cars handle fantastically. They slide around. They're hard to drive. You know, when you go in too deep, you know about it, as you just saw then. You know, you lock the brake and it's just like, oh no, here we go. Just great. Fantastic mod. Huge kudos to the mod developer over at assettomods.com. Links in the description below. Jump onto his Patreon. Sling him a couple of dollars for his effort, because he definitely deserves it for all of these mods. And let's get some online leagues up and running, hey? Yeah, man. Yeah. Let's get the damn mod. Alright. Thanks for making it this far in the video. What we're going to do now is I'm going to load up a race in Bathurst. I'm just going to stick a whole bunch of HRT cars on the track, because, you know, HRT is the way to go. Look at that drift. Beautiful. Alright. We're just going to watch some stuff. We're doing 2-lap races around Bathurst with all these HRT cars in tow, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy that. There will be some music over the top. That's my band's music. Right, so if you do like that, please hit up our SoundCloud. It'll be in the description below as well. Black Iris on SoundCloud. The song you're about to listen to is Death Beckons, and I think me doing some grass cutting is about where I'm going to finish it. So thanks a lot for tuning in.